Okay, great. So now that we have a place to view a list of all our members, I say the next step is to add functionality to be able to register a new member and simultaneously be able to see their details appended on the table view. So we can do that by navigating down to configurations and forms. Great. And then click on create new, just as we did on the previous step. Selecting on membership. Because we want to create a create view, I'm just going to go with blank view because I want to configure all my options from scratch. Give it a name of members create, super descriptive as well, and a label of members creates just to continue the same naming conventions, and a description of this create view is used to register a new member. Great, and then we can go ahead and select the model type of person because we want to make an entry to the person table. So we can go ahead and click on OK to be redirected to the form designer mode, and as you can see, the same components that we did find on the same on the form designer mode this the other time. So with regards to creating a create view, you do have an option of either searching for the components that you want in the builder widgets, or simply going to the data panel column and dragging and dropping the fields that you would want to be displayed on the form onto the edit area. So I'll just go and take the first name components, drag it and drop it onto the edit mode area. Take the last name component, and finally I'm going to take the mobile number components. And this is again super convenient because what the framework does is that it looks at the data type of the property that you are selecting and similarly matches it with the relevant component, the relevant draggable component for that specific property, which is super convenient because you don't have to think that much about it. Great, I'm just going to go ahead and change this label to cell phone number just to keep on the same naming conventions, because I did name the cell phone number in our table view, so I just want consistency in my naming. And because this is a create view and we want to post to the person table, we can go ahead and we can get into the form settings modal, and because we're going to be creating, we can go ahead and search for the relevant endpoint. I just typed for person-create, and then there it is. I can just go ahead and select that, which is super easy and convenient, and then I can go ahead and click on OK to save my changes. And when I'm happy with how my create view looks, I can go ahead and save it and set it ready and publish my form to live, which is now ready to be accessed throughout the whole system. Great, and now that we finally have our create view, we can go link it in our members table view to give it functionality to register a new member, and similarly have it appended on the members table view. So to do that, we can navigate down to configurations, forms, and enter into the form designer mode of the members table. So because we have created a new version of, we have published this version to live, we can now go on to create a new version, and this this versioning, as you will see later on, is very, very useful. So we can just go ahead and click on create new version, and because there is already a button group in the members table configuration edit area situation, we can go ahead and just click on this button group and go give it some functionality. So on the property sidebar, we can go ahead and click on customize button group and make changes to this add button. Give it a label more descriptive, such as create member. We're going to leave that icon there as a plus because it works, and we want this button to show a dialog when it is clicked, and that dialog should have a title of add new member and take the form of members create. And as you can see, while looking for the modal form, it is grouped under the module that you registered it under, which is super useful because, say for instance, you have the same form of the same name, but if it is in different modules, then you can simply differentiate the forms using that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and select show modal buttons, because as you saw, our create form doesn't have any buttons. And because we want to post to the person table, I'm just going to leave that as post, and I want to handle the success. So when my post is successful, I want to go ahead and refresh the members table so as to simultaneously show the member that was added. So once I am satisfied with that, I can go ahead and save. As you can see, my button group now has a button of create member instead of add, and upon clicking it, it brings a pop-up modal of the create form that we created earlier. So we can go ahead now and save this form. And to explain versioning, because now my form is on draft, I can similarly go ahead to this versioning toggle and set it to latest, so as to not publish my form each and every time that I want to make changes to it, because in the end, the end users of the system are only able to see the published version of the forms, but you as the admin and you as the configurator can see your forms on drafts, and you can edit it and you can keep coming back in as much as you want, so that you don't have to keep on publishing your form, so as to not have a lot of versions of that form, and to just keep version management easily manageable. So we can go ahead and set that to latest, which means that we will now have access to all our draft forms and we do not have to publish each and every time. So we can go ahead now and navigate back to our members table view to see our changes. And as you can see, because I am on the latest version toggle, I do see the form even though it is on draft mode, but should I go to the live version, I will see the live version of the form and not the draft, which is what the end users of the system will see until you publish the draft version to live. So I'm just going to continue on latest because I do not want to publish my form yet. So I can now go ahead and create a member to give our rental system a friend. So you can go ahead and click on create member, enter the details that you would like to create a member with. I'm just going to create John Doe here and give him a cell phone number of 0123456789. And once I'm done with that, I can go ahead and click on OK to create my new member. And as you can see, the members table refreshed and appended the new member onto the table, which is amazing.